Let's go through the assassination of John F. Kennedy, step by step. The motorcade goes around the corner. The first bullet hit his throat coming from the front, slightly raised in the direction of the overpass. The concrete would have completely distorted the noise. At that exact second, the patsy shot the rifle from the depository in order to draw attention in that direction. The first shot was lodged in his throat and remained there until they later retrieved it in the hospital. When the president was shot, he drastically tried to unbutton his shirt, but was understandably panicked. At this point, no one understood what was happening. Connolly starts to turn around. The car passes the woman with covered hair, but before the red lady. Connolly had his back towards his wife and his face towards the right car door. The bullet goes into his back from a high angle, then out his chest. It goes through the top of his wrist as he strained himself to turn around, and then back out the wrist and into his thigh. This shot came from the direction of the United States Patent and Trademark Office. From here, the road starts to go slightly down, which is important when triangulating the bullet correctly. The president attempts to protect himself by crouching in a fetal-like position. The bullet goes through the top right side of his skull and then out the back of his head. That same bullet then goes into his back above the shoulder blade and into the top of his right lung. The doctor calls the wound on the back of the head an entry, but then describes it as lacerated, indicating it is an exit. These two wounds are connected, meaning they are from one bullet, and you can see the metal traces in an X-ray. Every time one shot was fired, another corresponding shot was fired at the depository. Further evidence this was organized and premeditated. There is much verification to suggest he died instantly. For 40 minutes, they dig into his corpse to retrieve evidence, as his wife sat outside the door. So let's break it down. The FBI was aware of all the corruption, but powerless to do anything. Doctors and nurses cherry-pick information and lied on medical records. Considering how much went into it, this had to be a well-organized, premeditated assassination. Don't forget, these were real people, and they had their lives stolen from them for power.